the Chatterjee on London's drill music scene. Well, joining me now is journalist Andre Johnson, who reports online as Mr. Montgomery. Andre, thank you for talking to me this evening. You actually sat down and talked with Sadiq Kamara and his bandmates just a month or two ago. I think it was early June. What's he like? What was he like?
He's a very ambitious individual. He spoke to me about things that he wanted to do in the next coming months, things that he had planned, people he wanted to meet with, people he wanted me to introduce him to. He was a very warm-hearted individual when I met him. Yeah.
People around here we've spoken to, they've said he was a good guy.
Yeah, he was a good guy, and it's sad what's happened. At times we don't know why things happen to some individuals, but definitely he will be remembered for sure.
When you spoke to him, you did talk about knife crime in the capital. What does he say to you about it?
So when I spoke to him, he said that drill music does have an influence on knife crime.
So he admitted that it did, to some respect, incite violence, which is what its critics are saying tonight.
So he said it has an influence, but it's not the cause. His problem with the comparison is the fact that he feels the government, or he felt like the government was blaming drill music on knife crime rather than tackling the real issues, which is going into communities, providing an infrastructure for individuals to come out of that lifestyle. So his problem was not the fact that drill had an influence, but was the fact that drill was blamed, wrongly blamed.
Yeah, there are those who listen to the lyrics and they hear talk of guns, talk of knives, blades, and we look at what's happening here in London, and it's easy to make that accusation. What are your thoughts on that?
It is. There is a close link, but as he said, I'll agree with him. It is a catalyst, but it's not the creator. It doesn't create the problem. It just feeds the problem. Of course, there are some things about drill that are negative, but there are also things about drill that are positive. And I think if we work on both sides of the tree, we'll be able to get a better outcome and less things like this would happen.
And finally, Andre, I want to get the sense from you as well. We get the sense looking in that this kind of violence is almost a part of everyday life for these young people on the streets. Is that the case?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of them are seeing things that they shouldn't see. They're experiencing things that they shouldn't experience from a really young age. So a lot of them are growing with anger, issues from the past, and because of that they're implementing that into the streets and they're implementing that out in their day-to-day life, and something needs to change, something needs to be done.
All right, Andre Johnson, thank you for joining me. Thank you. Well, we'll be hearing more from the people of Camberwell a little later on in the programme, and meeting those who say the very strong sense of community in the estate here will not be broken by the violence of isolated gangs.